Title of this video is that you do not have much time left. And I can't be more serious when I say that, but it's regarding your finances and the next wave up. And what I want to do is I want to play a clip from a video that I made 4 years ago. And I've only watched the first 10 seconds of it. I have a pretty good feeling of what I've said. And then I want you to think about how many people listened to this video 4 years ago, took action, and have increased their wealth over 10 times. This isn't a joke because what has happened since October 10th, a massive shakeout of retail investors, you have been given an absolute gift. Before I start this video, do me a favor and type yes or no if you own cryptocurrency. And to the people that say no, I highly suggest you stick around and watch this, and the people that own it, because there's another wave coming that's going to smack people in the face. And it's just a straight up smack of regret. So this is me 4 years ago as a firefighter sitting up against a chain link fence talking to people. And there have been people that listened and made millions. And there are people that didn't listen and they watched on the sideline. All right. So here we go. And then I'm going to talk about that. And real quick, before we listen to it, I have discounted all of my cryptocurrency courses between 85 and 95% off. I highly suggest you take a look at them. I guarantee you, I have a different way of teaching people and showing people how to secure, how to buy, how to transfer, how to invest, how to do all of the things around cryptocurrency that no one's teaching on the internet. So take a look at that below. Here is the video. And then let me know if I hit it. I'm not joking. I have not watched this video other than 10 seconds. Kinds of don't screw this up, or why you're thinking too small when it comes to crypto, or you have no idea the opportunity that is passing you by. Now, a lot of you are going to go, no, cool, Ninja, I know. I'm already involved. I've already got my Bitcoin. I've already got my cryptocurrencies. We're good. I get it. But I'm telling you right now, if you're talking about buying, I'm watching the comments. I'm listening to the comments, getting emails. If you're excited because you're thinking about the next car you're going to drive, you're thinking too small. If you're thinking about paying off your house, I'm telling you right now, you are not getting this. People talk about it all the time where they talk about generational wealth. Bitcoin was $6,000 when I made this video. And when it comes to, like, if I was to ask the common person that was involved in cryptocurrencies and they're dabbling, let's say they've got, 6 figures in there. And I say, well, what does generational wealth mean? Well, when it comes to cryptocurrencies, and they say, well, it'll keep growing. I'm going to be instantly wealthy. And so I'll be able to pass that down to my heirs. And that's not exactly generational wealth. Remember, great investors from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s all did one thing in common when they're investing. They were big on dividend plays, because a real investor, a good investor, does one thing. They take that bit of money, they put it into an investment, and they need to do 2 things. They need to know exactly why that investment's going to grow, right? Why that company is going to get larger and larger, why that investment, that pool of money is going to grow, right? But then they also want to know, how soon am I getting my initial investment back? And then how long is that investment going to keep paying me? We hear it all the time in real estate, where real estate gurus go, it's all about cash flow. Build your cash flow base. Then you can go out and speculate, but don't just jump right into the speculation pool. That's what burned everybody in 2007. All these people that didn't want to hear about it, didn't want to buy rentals and stuff, all of a sudden go, I could buy a house and just sit on it for 3 months and sell it for 80 grand more? What? Come on. It's my best impersonation of someone going, what? That's not an investor, all right? This is what you need to be thinking about right now. This is what generational wealth is when it comes to cryptocurrencies. Right now, you are given the greatest opportunity you have ever been given in your entire life. And you have a small amount of window of time to take advantage of it. And this is why. The blockchain snuck up on everybody, okay? But billionaires did buy in early, but only a certain type of billionaire. See, we see people like Warren Buffett just deny it. Peter Schiff. So I want to say something real quick. Bitcoin was at $6,000, $6,500 the day that I made that video. And I use that key term, you have very little time left. And I've heard in the comments before, and I'm seeing comments right now, people are like asking, did I buy this? Did I sell this? Because they didn't buy any education. They didn't listen. And I don't tell people everything for free. End of story. Because anyone that takes something for free, like a free stock tip, they go out and get completely wrecked. My students didn't get wrecked.
But when I say things, and I've seen over the years, I'm like, you don't have much time left. You got 2 weeks left. You got 8 weeks left. And I say, this event's coming. It's going to affect this investment class. I highly suggest you go look at this. 90% of the people laugh and they don't think they missed anything. The people that bought Bitcoin back then have made well over, as of even today, 15 times their money. If they would have sold some of their Bitcoin or all their Bitcoin or their cryptos or altcoins a month and a half ago, they'd be making 20, 25 times their money. And now you have another cycle about to hit. I'm hoping that Bitcoin drops into the mid 70s. I don't know if it will. Nobody's got a crystal ball, right? But this little correction, when I say little, I've been through these 25, 30%, 40% shakeouts so many times, it's crazy. And it is just like Newton's law of relativity. As fast as it drops, it's going to pop back up. I'm paraphrasing there. Obviously, Newton didn't say it that way. But you know what I'm talking about. And at $90,000 Bitcoin, I never say go on all in on anything. I still believe that. But think about if you would have taken action back then. You'd be up 10, 15, 20, 25x right now. There are some people that are up well over 100x since they listened. They bought a couple of those cryptos. They moved into the cycle. They moved out of the cycle. XCN is a great example of that. People that listened on my newsletter, and if they would have bought when I said, hey, I'm buying, and then when I publicly said on this channel, I'm selling half, that was over 2,400% gain. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just an investor. But I'm telling you right now, people need to start learning about this because you are going to see, and yes, somebody just answered, I sold most of my crypto before the crash. I made an announcement on my DeFi trading group that I had sold most of it. And I'm sitting in cash. A lot of my students listened were sitting on cash. And I think it's important for people to understand that you now have a second opportunity because you don't even have to listen to me. You got all these fancy guys on CNBC, some of which I know personally, and they're telling you it's going to $1 million. I've been telling you it's going to $1 million when it was $3,000. And I would tell you about all these swings. And in early on in the channel, and I don't know how many people are here that remember this, but I'm going to repeat something I said early in the channel, and do me a favor. Say, I remember that if you remember this. I would get super excited about crypto. And I said, you're going to watch it. People are going to lose their minds when it hits 100 grand. We were at like in the teens, right? They're going to lose their minds when it hits 100 grand. And then it's going to drop. Then it's going to go pop up to 150 to 250. Then once it hits 250, it's really going to tank down into the, around 80 grand range. And then I said that next cycle after that is going to be $1 million. And I'm telling you right now, million isn't even the top for Bitcoin because of its finite supply and governments buying it. And back then, I never would have thought, I thought it was possible, but I never would have envisioned what we have today. And most people don't understand the gift they've been given. This shakeout of retail, because you can look at all the wallets around the world, all the small wallets that sold. What a joke. And some of them may buy back. Probably not because they're emotional. That's emotional people selling things drop rather than sit and think about it and have the understanding and conviction based off of knowledge to go, oh, I'm going to buy more. I'm backing the truck up. And this is that moment that you're witnessing most people not take advantage of. You're going to see most people just lose. Most people, 99% of people that are, their portfolios are down is because they didn't take action early enough. They didn't sell some of it when it was skyrocketing. Everything was related to greed. And now they're down, or they think they're down, and they're not buying more. So in 2026, you're going to see a lot of volatility. I can guarantee you that. In stocks, crypto, precious metals, because the world is churning right now, going into recession around the world. They don't know which way is up, and everyone's trying to make yield. And there are a lot of emotional buyers and sellers out there. And I'm telling you, most people on YouTube that are talking about, their buy and sell marks, they don't got a whole lot of skin in the game. And there's a big difference. I think people should have, every single human being should have a little bit of crypto, a little bit of Bitcoin, buy a little bit of it, put it onto a Trezor. Matter of fact, I'll put a link down to Trezor because they're having obviously a Black Friday sale that's going to be pretty epic. But I think, and that's how I store my stuff long term, just, I think that if you don't pay attention and take advantage of this cycle now, you're going to regret it. And you never put more money into something. And when they say that you're willing to lose, I think that's the dumbest thing anyone could ever say. You never put more money than you need to access, because hopefully you're not buying and type 1 if you agree with this. Hopefully you're not buying an asset because of some hot stock tip you got off from your dentist or your buddy at work. Okay. Because last time you checked, well, you guys are working at the same place, but I actually was a firefighter, as a multimillionaire firefighter a decade ago. And so I would give them hot tips and they would laugh at me. So I guess that doesn't always ring true. But the truth is, you don't put more money than you're willing to need to access later. I usually see people put money in like, oh crap, I don't know, I'm going to make my mortgage payment. Like, dork, don't buy too much of that crypto. But that's what they do. And then they have to sell always when the price is low. This is one of those times where it's low, and it could dip down into the mid 70s, which would be even more of a gift. And if you buy a little at 90 and you go, okay, I bought some, and it dips down to 75, you say, thank you, I'll come back and buy some. This is the difference between wealthy people and poor people. And I put a lot of the middle class in the realm of poor people. Type it down below, yes or no, if you agree with that. Just because you drive a fancy car, you got $100,000 SUV, or you got some fancy, Ferrari or Porsche, if you can't pay cash for it, you probably shouldn't buy it. This is the time to act. And I am so excited to bring you that message, because back then on this video, and I'm not joking, I didn't even see it didn't say what I was hoping to say, but I'm going to play one more little clip. I don't even know what I'm going to say. This is the ninja 4 years ago talking about crypto and why you should buy Bitcoin when it was in the 6,000 range.
Deny it, right? We have people that just couldn't get involved. But the billionaires that did get involved, they were new billionaires. These were innovators. These were people that could stay quiet long enough to go, I see something over there. I don't understand it.
Talking about crypto.
But I want to at least spend some time and figure it out. And they got it. And then they went, oh, this is big. Well, you can have all the billionaires in the world buy it up, right? Still doesn't mean it's going to make it legal. All these billionaires know, I got to work around the regulators. I got to work around the guys that make the laws that aren't as rich as me.
And what are they doing now?
Figure that out. And there's this time lag. So a lot of billionaires got in and they're going to become uber wealthy. Right now, there's a time clock and regulation is coming. We all know what's going on with XRP. The SEC is working on trying to figure it out. We know that the United States is the bad actor, really, when it comes to cryptocurrency regulation. They're the slowest because they don't want to lose the dominancy of the US dollar, and they're afraid. The sad thing is, if they jumped on board and became an innovator, it would rocket the dollar into a whole new realm and keep its supremacy.
And what are they doing now?
You have a short amount of window time where you are able to build companies around your investments. And I'll give you an example. Right now, there are cryptocurrencies out there that are producing yield, whether it be a DeFi platform or...
I'll stop it there. I teach about that also. Years later, I came out with the... I'm not even going to talk about that course. There are people making stupid amounts of money per year that blow away the S&P because they're staking, restaking, farming, all that stuff. I'm going to let you go on this. Are you going to be a winner or are you going to be a loser? Winners think ahead. They get ahead of the pack. They take decisive action. Losers sit around and whine that they aren't the winners. End of story. 2026 is going to be your year if you take decisive action. All of my crypto courses are about averaging 90% off like the next 24 hours, I believe. The countdown timer's down there. I highly suggest you educate yourself, learn from all my mistakes and my gains. There is a course for every topic in crypto. Nobody's done this. I guarantee you after you take it. And just look down below. If my students will throw out the comments below, that's my free advertising, because my goal is that students walk away enlightened, encouraged, and they have all the tools to go out and absolutely crush it in crypto, no matter how old you are. I got students that are in their 80s, investing, trading, transferring, doing all this crazy stuff with cryptocurrency. Hopefully you have a great day. The Economic Ninja is out.